So CBTV Idaho promised you guys something really big going into the new year. Here you go. As of now, Construction Business TV Idaho is officially being sponsored by the Eastern Idaho Workforce Training Center. I'll tell you a little bit more about what they do, but first let's go over the top 3 stories. Facts surrounding the upcoming water tower replacement project. We're going to cover a couple of those. We're going to discuss the scheduled construction at the intersection of 17th and Boulevard. We've all been wondering when that's going to happen. And we're going to discuss the waterline replacement on John Adams and Lincoln Drive. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Tyson. You are watching Construction Business TV Idaho in 2023. Welcome back, guys, to Construction Business TV. My name is Tyson. I'm your video journalist for Construction Business TV in the East Idaho area. If this is your first time checking this out, Construction Business TV is a news platform dedicated to keeping you up to date on all of the construction and development projects going on in your local area. If you haven't seen us before, what we do is we start this off with a local construction job post lead. So Ralph L. Wadsworth Construction has an immediate need to fill 6 different positions. All these positions are local to the Pocatello area. They are all mid to entry level experience required. They have variable shifts and they have a salary estimate ranging between $22 and $32 an hour. What we have is construction laborer, concrete finisher, project engineer, concrete carpenter, pile driver, and concrete structures foreman. So I'm leaving a link in the description below this video. If you're interested in learning more about any of these positions, you can follow this link to get that information as well as how to apply for any of these jobs. And before I get on to story number 1, I want to remind you that if you find value in the content that I provide for you every week, I'm here every Tuesday, and you haven't yet, please consider liking the video, subscribing to Construction Business TV on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook. And we actually also have a presence on Instagram as well. Find Construction Business TV on Instagram too. Let's hit story number 1. The Lincoln Drive and John Adams Parkway Waterline Replacement Project of 2023. That is a mouthful. So this project is supposed to replace the existing water line, reconstructing the roadway to eliminate excessive crowning and extending its useful life. The location for this project is going to be the John Adams Parkway between Linden Drive and Idaho Canal, Lincoln Drive between John Adams Parkway and First Street. The project cost is going to be approximately $702,000. It will be provided, the funds will be provided by the Idaho Falls Water Division. The purpose of this project is to replace existing waterline and reconstructing existing roads. So the way traffic will be affected is that lane closures are possible throughout the duration of the project with traffic speed reduced. I don't have word yet on the anticipated timeline and when this project is going to start. It is scheduled to happen. I am getting in touch with city officials and getting more information on when it's going to happen, how long this construction will be present in this part of the community, and I'll follow up with you guys as soon as I have that information. If you're enjoying Construction Business TV and you see any construction or development projects going on in the East Idaho area that you haven't heard me talk about yet, make sure you leave a comment in the section below the video. If I've already covered it, I will let you know via a link to that report. If I haven't covered it, I will look into it for you. Let's hit story number 2. The 17th Street and Boulevard project. They're widening that intersection. They've been talking about widening that intersection for some time. This project is supposed to make improvements to the turn radius at 17th and Boulevard by extending the culvert and moving the sidewalk and signal arm to a new location. The purpose is to create a safer turn radius for traffic in that area, as it has become, as you and I both know, very congested in that area. The project is going to begin January 17th, so it is right around the corner. Anticipated completion is going to be later in the spring of this year. Possible lane closures will happen along 17th Street and Boulevard during construction. I'll keep you updated on that as I get more information, more detailed information. And the contractor for this project is going to be Knife River Corporation. Before I get on to my final story, as promised, I want to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor, the Eastern Idaho Workforce Training Center. Have you heard of the Eastern Idaho Workforce Training Center, sponsored by CEI? This new center opened in 2022 and it focuses on workforce training for trades such as construction, manufacturing, HVAC, plumbing, heavy equipment operations, and a whole lot more. This facility is sponsored by CEI, but it is industry-led. It is led by you. is led by the community, the businesses that need workers with strong skills. Whether you need to train an existing workforce or if you want to help in training the future workforce, this training is done your way. At this facility, you'll find 8 high bays and 6 classrooms along with 3 acres of land, which is perfect for high equipment operations training. So if you want to get more information on getting trained as a student or training your workers, contact Penny Lyon at 208-535-5409 or click the link provided in the description below the video. For my final story, I want to talk a little bit about the Idaho Falls Water Tower Replacement Project. That project is fast around the corner. Construction is slated to begin in the spring. I'm going to get more information on the details behind that, but in the meantime, I know that many people in the community have had questions and maybe even doubts about the necessity for replacing an iconic water tower such as the one we have in this area. So I wanted to cover a couple of commonly asked questions that the city has addressed on their website. First question that they addressed: why does the water tower need to be replaced? So due to its age, there are several structural issues with the current water tower, including non-compliance with current seismic requirements and building standards, base paint coating losing adhesion and peeling, high lead content in base coat paint, aging concrete pier foundations supporting the tower's legs, which were last replaced in 1969, surface cracking and exposed concrete pier foundations, significant corrosion in the vault below the tower, corrosion and deterioration of cast iron inlet and outlet piping, and of course location safety. The current tower is between Idaho Falls Power's administration building and the central power plant. This limits the IFP's ability to expand their operations. This also presents a hazard for the IFP employees, as during the wintertime icicles form on the water tower, which drops directly on top of the pathways and the parking lot of the IFP buildings. Another question that people have had is what maintenance has already been done on the current water tower and what evaluations have been done. So in 1997, a paint coat analysis was conducted on the tower as it was beginning to show signs of wear. At that time, only the roof and eaves were painted white at a cost of approximately $24,000. In 2008, another evaluation was completed, and it was recommended that due to adhesion failure of base coats of lead-based paint, the city consider sandblasting the tower to bare steel and recoating the entire tower. At the same time, the Water Division consulted a structural engineering company to review the structural integrity of the tower. The company recommended that the city not perform a full structural analysis, but gather generate plans for its eventual replacement or demolition. These results are still valid today. The reality is that even if the city were to invest the estimated $2 million or more to restore the existing tower, it would still not meet the current building standards and seismic zone requirements, nor would it provide sufficient water storage to meet the expanding needs of a growing city. And here's the final question that I'll address. Why can't we just restore the existing tower like we have restored some of the historic buildings downtown? So in a broader context, city officials are very proud of the significant progress that has been made downtown as a result of a very cooperative partnership between the city of Idaho Falls Downtown Development Corporation, Idaho Falls Redevelopment Agency, and private investors. Restoring old buildings and structures has always been considered a priority, providing that buildings can support their intended purpose. Historic preservation benefits both the historic and economic value of our downtown. Fortunately, we have been able to restore many buildings in our quest to preserve the historic nature of our downtown. However, there are circumstances when safety, structural deficiencies, and the need to accommodate future city growth outweigh the option of restoration. The tower is simply too deficient to restore to its intended purpose, and it needs to be replaced with a tower that is built to today's standards, that is sized to serve the growing needs of the city now and into the future. That's going to do it for today's edition of Construction Business TV Idaho. My name is Tyson. I welcome you guys into the 2023 new year. Look forward to continuing to provide you with information on construction and development projects going on in your local area, and I'm especially looking forward to Construction Business TV's partnership with the Eastern Idaho Workforce Training Center. Thank you guys so much for your time and your support and your subscriptions. Drive safe.